Hello guys, today we will be doing the Bulldogs season review, and so yeah, let's get right into it. First up against the Newcastle Knights, they played alright in the first half. They were down 18-10 at half break, but they played pretty well. Yeah, Dallin Wateni's Lesniak got a double and scored their first try of the season, and yeah. Next up against the Penrith Panthers, they were down 10-0 at half time. They got a disallowed try, which I think was pretty unlucky. And they were kept to nil by arguably the best team in the comp, the Premiership winners. So, yeah. Next up against the Brisbane Broncos, they got kept to nil again at Suncorp. They were only down 2-0 at half time, so they didn't play that bad in the first half, but the second half they got blown open by Jermaine Osako and Xavier Kurtz. Next up, the Good Friday match, they lost 38-0. And that was 3 consecutive games they had been kept to nil. So they really need to find something here. They were good in the first 10 minutes, I'll just say that. Next up at Stadium Australia, they scored their first point since round 1. I think it was Luke Thompson who broke the drought. It was Jake Averillo and Dallin Wateni and Lesniak also scoring tries. But Melbourne still smashed them. Next up in Townsville, they got very unlucky with a Jack Hetherington send-off, destroying Valentine Holmes. And they lost 30-18, but overall it was a good performance. Their first win of the season against the Cronulla Sharks. They were up 18-0 at half time. Will Hopewadi, Nick Kotrick, and Nick Meaney scoring. Moeen Horodi had a lot of sellout tries for the Sharks. But the Bulldogs won. Next up at Stadium Australia against the Parramatta Eels, they lost 32-10. They were down 16-0 at half time. They were down 22-0 and they scored 2 tries to get themselves back in it. But the Eels ran away with it in the end to win 32-10. Next up against the Dragons, round 9, where they were down 6-0 at half time. But they were horrible in the second half. They were down, I believe, they opened the scoring themselves in the 66th minute. So they would have been down 26-0 when they opened the scoring. 32-0. They got smashed by the Dragons. Next up in Magic Round, they were alright. They were up 12-8, I think, at one point. I think it was at they were down 8-0 at half time. But they played well, the Bulldogs. They almost won. Dallin Wateni's Lesniak scored in the final minute to keep them within 2 points. Yeah. Next up on the Gold Coast, against the Gold Coast, they were pretty good in both halves. So they were down 18-10 at half time. But they played pretty well, scoring their highest points for a while. Next up against the Panthers, they actually played well, to be honest. They were very weird in this game, though. The Panthers played horrible and still won 30-4. Yeah, 30-4. Next up, by round 13, so round 14, they won 28-6 against the Dragons. They thrashed the Dragons. And they got a lot of penalty goals. So next up is the Eels. They played well in the first half. They were up 10-6 at half time. The Eels ran away with it in the second half. Round 16 against the Seagulls, they had a lot of COVID breaches and lost 66-0. They got thrashed. The Seagulls' biggest ever win. And next up against the Roosters, they played very well, the Bulldogs. Lachlan Lewis returned and played very well. Next up, in round 18 against the Rabbitohs, they played very well. Won 32-24. Next up, round 19 against Cronulla, they were down 30-6 at half time. But the second half was a lot left to be desired. So I think they only lost by 20. Next up, round 20, very disappointing against the Titans, 34-6. Very disappointing. Now against the Tigers, they weren't that bad against the Tigers, but they were alright. Now the Warriors beat them 24-6, or 24-10. I mean, they were pretty good. Alright, the Bulldogs weren't that bad, I guess. The Knights played good again, and it was they did not play bad. The Bulldogs, they in it. Jade Knockenball scored in the final minute, an amazing try, by the way. On 24 against the Seagulls. They played very well. They were up 12-10 at half time. But the Seagulls ran away with it in the second half. But the Bulldogs definitely played well. I'll just say. And next up, final game of the season. They beat the Tigers 38-0. The best performance of the year. But the Tigers were also pretty horrible at that, I'd say. Can you really put it down to the Bulldogs being great? I don't know. Anyways, thoughts for next season? Holy crap, there's a lot to talk about. They have a lot of talent coming there. Matt Bennett, Josh Adokar, Brent Naden, Matt Duffy, Davida Pangai Jr., Josh Cook. The list goes on. There's way too many players. Anyways, they had a down season, obviously, the Bulldogs in the wooden spoon. But they could have an excellent year next year. And anyways, that's it for this video. Hope you have a great time. Have a great day, night, whatever day part of the day it is. And I'll see you guys next time.